Listen up or run for cover. Dropping knowledge from the people who have it to the people who need it. The real Brad Lee is dropping
What it is, Brad Lee back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs. Today in the studio, I've got a freaking fashion star. Shit, she's mixed with all kinds, folks. Forbes Riley.
Hey, good morning.
Welcome, Forbes. Been wanting to put you on the show for a while now. You finally slowed down long enough to swing by.
You know, and actually we're not slowing down. We're in the middle of a conference, going off to a brunch and a mansion party. I'll tell you, Vegas is so happening. I'm so tired.
Did you do that mansion party?
I did. Third floor of that mansion has a full court basketball court. I mean, it is an insane environment, and it was a good celebration of a birthday party and a lot of young kids learning the secrets of life.
Yeah, I saw that.
I like it.
I missed the party. I had things to do, more important things like sleep.
Sleep when you're dead.
Dude, I like sleep.
Sleep when you're dead.
There's a lot of people that think that they have to go with what you just said, and here's my spin on it. How about sleep when you're tired?
Well, you know, I'm going to share something with you. Last night, I took a nap. I was not necessarily going to go, but I spoke yesterday.
Well, you took a nap. That's the key.
Yeah, I did. And something really amazing happened. I created a whole lot of raving fans. And I actually met someone at the party last night who said something that just changed my life. And that is why I showed up, because I connected to those people. Just to go out at night and party is not what we were doing last night. It was about networking, and your network is your net worth. Young man walks up to me. He said, "Last year I heard you at 10X. I came up to you. You graciously did a little something with me, made me cry. Forbes, I was broke last year." He showed me his Amazon account. He made $453,000 this month, hugged me and said, "It's because of you."
Nice. Look at that there. Now, have you ever heard of Dropping Bombs?
I love your podcast. Of course I have.
Thank you. Well, then you know what the game is. We're just going to shoot the shit a little bit and see what kind of bombs we can drop.
I got tons.
What'd you tell that kid?
You know, when I look at somebody, Brad, I have people who cry in the supermarket with me. I have a unique way of looking at you and telling you where you can go by touching you and asking you a few questions and seeing how we can get rid of baggage in your past and how to move forward. And what he said was, "You gave me permission to be successful." That's the title of my newest book. And it is because so many, you don't ask for permission. Most successful people don't. They got this notion in their head they could just break the rules. Where so many other people, and I think it's because this game when we play when we're a kid, Mother, may I take, 3 giant steps? No, you can take a baby step. Listen, I'm not asking you anymore. And even the Wizard of Oz is based on permission. These 4 beautiful creatures, somebody wanted a heart and a brain and to go home and courage. And they thought this great wizard could give them those things. They went through great perils to get there, only to find out, number one, there's no wizard. The little guy, pulling the strings. And all he said was, "You've already had it inside of you." What was that? That's somebody giving you permission, going, "You know what? You have permission to be successful, to leave that abusive relationship, to finally lose that weight, to claim what is yours in this world, but most people don't." And that's what I gave him. And he said, "Forbes, that set me free."
That always makes you feel good, doesn't it?
Beyond.
Do you ever start crying with people?
All the time. All the time. I
think you just enjoy it.
But you know what? People share things with me that they've never shared before. In the middle of a lunch, this woman is sharing her rape story. And Brad, I have a gift. I actually took her. I said, "Do you want to do this now?" In the middle of this lunch, made her pound a pillow, yell and scream, and she got through her rape story that she never shared with anybody. She was 9 years old at a camping, wherever she was. The next morning, we saw her in the hallway. She looked differently. Completely different. This is what I've been doing with people. I call it Forbes Factor Live.
Nice. So before I forget, where do people get you?
All right. If you are someone who's stuck in your life and you're yearning for this, or something tragic happened and you want to get over it, I have a 5-day training called ForbesFactorLive.com. I do it live in my studio in Tampa. We only have 40 people at a time going through it. And I'm more than living the life of my dream. I've changed so many people's lives, Brad, that I'm just going, you know what? The end of my life, I'm good. I'm really good right now.
Nice.
Yeah, we've got a couple of guests here. They've all been through my class.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so, this is the new thing. When you leave my world, okay, this is kind of a cool thing. You speak differently. Most people that you'll meet will say phrases like, I can't, I don't know how, or no. In my world, we change all that. We also talk about bag of bones versus you. Bag of bones is saying to you, you're not worth it, you're not good enough, you'll never make it, you're too old, you're too young, right? In my world, we have these isms called leap in the net will appear. You're the sum of the obstacles you overcome. And I've got a whole series of these that just change people's worlds. How you do something is how you do everything. And for me, they're not magnets on a refrigerator. They're things that I make people experience, go through, and they own it. And every time that little voice in your head says you can't, you go, wait, what did Forbes say? Oh, yeah. And then the biggest one is, what did you Forbes lately? So to Forbes something means to manifest it, especially when nobody thinks it's possible.
Now, folks, some of you might be thinking, Forbes Riley, why does that sound familiar? Well, she's the one that pops up on all those infomercials and sells shit. You've sold billions of dollars worth of shit.
She sells shit? What is that?
What-
She
what-
sells stuff people want.
Well, I mean, you sell shit.
I do.
Like when I talk about my courses, I'll say, my shit's good.
Okay.
So when I say shit, I don't mean shit.
All right, I'll take that.
You sold, how much products, retail, have you sold in your
I've
life?
sold over $2.5 billion worth of product in my life.
Billion. She's the one that pops up on the infomercials and freaking is articulate and convincing and shows you all the good products to do.
I have 5 running right now. Everything from stem cell to a portable facelift that helps your chin look better. But the biggest one for me, well, number one, I started when infomercials started. And the biggest one was Jack LaLanne Juicer. That changed my life. That one show, that one interview that we did in Toronto, Canada in 2003, right after my kids were born, grossed $1 billion in sales in 80 countries in 8 years.
Damn. So how did you get that gig?
All right, so it's kind of funny. I was an actress, and I was just sharing with this, how, do you believe that God steers you in different directions?
Sure.
But not everybody does. If you listen, do you feel like you're living in your purpose right now?
No.
Well, but I'm going to look at you and say you are.
Okay.
Well,
I wasn't going to say yeah, but I don't know for sure.
Well, I'll tell you why you are, because you're helping other people, and I can feel it. It may not be your ultimate what you want to do, but dude, you provide a learning platform. You have a style. Your podcast is wildly successful, and you're helping other people just through this medium. That's powerful. People who are not walk around frustrated all the time.
Yeah.
So for me, I was an actress and a TV host. I mean, I grew up very ugly. And I know this is so goofy when people look at me now, but I had a broken nose, frizzy hair, full braces for 8 years, and I was overweight. And I was really smart, which made me the least popular kid in class, okay? And what I did most of my time was I watched a lot of television and movies, and I dreamed. I dreamed that my life could be different than it was. And then my dad had an industrial accident and sliced off the front of his hand and spent 3 years in the hospital, going through 15 operations, and we were completely broke. But it's funny, I didn't know it. My parents were so loving, and I just knew we didn't have a lot, but we were never homeless. I don't know how they did that when you're in the hospital that much. And my mom said, I know you're smart, but we have no money for college. I was like, oh. She said, no, but there's this pageant. I'm like, Mom. She said, no, don't worry. It's not a beauty pageant. It's a written test, a personality, and a talent. And you can dance, and you've got a personality. I'm like, huh. My dad's doctor overheard this, and they offered to fix my nose when I was 15 years old. And kind of funny what a nose can do for you. All of a sudden, I got kind of cute, and I cut my hair, and I lost a little bit of weight, and I went on to win Miss Teenage New York in the Miss Teenage America pageant on television with Bob Hope in Oklahoma.
Damn.
I know, right? And here's the crazy thing. I was listening to Brittany on one of your other podcasts, and she's talking about how she's Instagramming this and taking pictures and that. 40 years ago, you know what a camera looked like for us? It was a giant contraption. There were no cell phones, but I have pictures of that event. I've got photos of me and Bob Hope when I was 16 years old, and they became very valuable. I had a sense that I needed to photograph my life from the beginning. But, it's funny, because if life happens for you, not to you, I thought that was the greatest thing I won, right? Well, I got to Oklahoma, and I'm talking like this, because I'm from New York, right? And the girls there are like, you all have the funniest accent I ever heard. I'm like, what the F you talking about? I don't have accents. So I went from winning this thing to being bullied and having the worst week of my entire life. And so that is the thing that I've learned about life, is that you don't get handed things. I call it course correction. Kind of like a sailboat, right? You want to get from point A to point B, but the wind keeps blowing you. How do you keep correcting back?
The rudder.
Yeah, but you got to also understand where you're going, and that you're not going to get there directly.
Yeah.
Now, you might have a speedboat. You're one of those people that seems like he's a speedboat guy. I've had this really annoying sailboat that keeps getting pushed left and right and left. And
No, I do too.
Yeah?
I think everybody does. Like when I do the 5 factors, one of them is make adjustments. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Make adjustments, because if you don't make adjustments, you end up stuck or stopped, or worse, you just flat give up and think it's not working when all you had to do was make a slight adjustment.
Most people don't know that. And somebody in your brain, you got permission to make an adjustment. Most people get off course and they stay there, and they don't understand that they can come back. And so for me, one of the biggest things that happened is, and you have mentors in your life, right?
Sure.
Okay, I didn't understand that at all. I lucked out having the most amazing mentor. I was in college and I was going to be a lawyer. After that experience about being bullied so much, I realized maybe I'm not that pretty, maybe I'm not that special, and I'm going to go be a lawyer. Well, I'm in college, and I'd always auditioned for plays, and I always got the chorus or the townsperson number 3 or characters with no name, right? Well, this senior year, I get the lead in the biggest Shakespearean play that he ever wrote, and I don't understand why. And I go to my acting professor, and I said, hey, can you explain to me why you gave me this role? And she's amazing. She's on stage for 2.5 hours. She's manipulating. She plays a boy and a girl. And he sat me down, and he said, I don't think you realize who you are. You have this power, this strength, this depth that I've never seen. And maybe it's because of all the stuff I went through as a little kid. But the cool thing about Professor David Richmond, he was 100% legally blind.
Wow.
He couldn't see everything that people were fixated on. And he told me who I really was. Brad, I left college. I headed to New York. I auditioned for my first movie, got the lead role, and have never looked back. And one person just giving me permission to go do that changed my whole life. However...
And that's what you're doing now.
Well, no, that's the funny thing. I wanted to be an actress. I wanted to be Julia Roberts and Sandra Bullock. And I'm doing it. I'm living the dream for a while, right? I'm in L.A., and I finally get the lead in a TV series, right? The biggest thing I've ever done for Fox TV. We shoot the pilot. I'm like, I finally did it after all the things I've been struggling with. At the 11th hour, Fox comes to me and says, hey, you know what? You're not famous enough to carry the show. We're going to replace you with Bo Derek. My agent calls me into his office the next day and said, hey, I'm going to let you go. Like, you're going to what? You're going to let me go? I'm like a 40-year-old actress with 2 kids, and I finally did it. He said, yeah, no. He said, you're not really famous enough in this world. You're famous in that infomercial world. Why don't you go brand yourself? And if you want to act, make enough money and buy your own movie.
That's what I'm going to do.
Eh?
It's exactly what I'm going to do.
Well, I heard that. I heard the universe say to me, you know what, this acting thing that you're doing, I know you love it, but it's all about you. It's very self-centered. You should be doing something else. And I picked up my 2 little kids. I was already on home shopping, and I left L.A. Very sad. You know, when one door closes, does another door open? And I had nobody to ask. I didn't have any mentors at that moment. And I was afraid to ask for help. When you're a strong person like me, you think asking for help makes you look weak, right? Mm-hmm. And I finally asked a couple of people, what does it mean to brand yourself? And Tony Little was down there, and he started to explain to me what it takes to build a personal brand. And this was 12 years ago. And I took the advice, and I did the things, and it's a long road. And I got to tell you, I haven't looked back. And that includes getting my own, personal fitness product that I put my name on, and understanding how, even though the infomercial world was nice, the acting world was nice, I have a little bit of a bigger purpose on this planet. And that's to affect change in other people. That is to share the stories of pain, of being vulnerable, and just letting people know that it's not what they think it is. They think it's all glamorous. They think you just wake up one day and you've got the Lamborghini out there and you got the big studio and you're all successful. And no, it's a journey, isn't it?
Isn't it?
And what you're doing here, too, is you're illuminating that hearing people's stories. That's what I love about podcasts. I'm addicted. I have my own called The Forbes Factor. We talk about health, wealth, and happiness. You have been a guest.
Folks, make sure you guys go subscribe to The Forbes Factor. She's been doing it a while. She gets on the biggest guests. I was lucky enough to be on there for a moment.
Well, you know what? We were lucky enough to be on stage together. How about 10X, man? We got to speak in front of 10,000 people.
Yeah, that's fun. I like that. I'm less nervous in front of 10,000 than I am 100. Like if I come out in an audience and there's like 30 people there, I feel dumb.
No.
But if there's 30,000, I just feel cool.
Well, so how'd you feel yesterday? We both spoke in front of 600 people. And I got to tell you, they were young. I started doing these mansion parties with these young boys that you would not think would be my demographic. We're always talking about demographics, right? So as a female speaker, people always say to me, do you talk to women? I'm like, no, I don't just talk to women. Does Tony Robbins just talk to men groups? Losing my earring. I said, no, I talk to people who have a heart. people who are stuck and have a soul and don't know how to get to that next level. I have been wildly successful. And I went back and said, well, what is it that I did? And you know what I did? I took baby steps. How do you eat an elephant, right? One step at a time.
One bite.
One bite at a time.
Yep.
And my biggest thing I think is keep going. I hear the arrows. I say what they are. Thank you. Just keep going.
And by the way, if I forget to drop bombs, usually the best, like people always, for some reason, guests come on and they're like, their goal is to get the most bombs ever.
Oh, I just dropped 18 of them. You were so fixated on looking at my face. I can see you right here. Because what I love about this is we're not on a Zoom call here.
Yeah.
We are face to face.
I only do them live.
I applaud you for that.
Yeah. But some of the best ones we've ever done, people, I literally forgot to drop bombs the whole time, and because there's just so many, and you just get so into the discussion. Mm-hmm. So if your goal is to get the most bombs ever, see, this might be one of those ones where we don't get any actual bombs because we're chatting and their bombs are just existing without dropping. We're in a bomb.
There you go. Let me tell you something. You know, getting bombs, and if that's my goal, shame on me. And I do have this whole thing about begin with the end in mind.
Yeah.
My goal right now.
When you say that, before you lose your train of thought,
yeah.
Begin with the end in mind. That's why I went and bought a website, and I'm starting to make this thing called the Mentafundals.
Ooh.
Because they're like the fundamentals, but we're beginning with the end in mind. They're Mentafundals.
I'm such a fan of yours. It's so funny.
What do you think of that?
I love it. But it's also disruptive. And that's what I think we need to do. We need to stop going along this path of numbness and stand up. Being different is hard.
Yeah.
When you're the pioneer, you're the one who gets the arrows. I am very used to getting arrows. And you know what? I'm okay with that. And as I said yesterday on stage, this is my time right now. I want a national talk show. I've had 2 of them so far. I want my last job where I am the one, the voice, the woman who's a mom. I love Oprah, but she's not a mom. And I will tell you, when you've got kids and you're distracted and you think about other things, it's hard to be a working woman who stands for people who've been abused, who've been sexually molested, who have been confused in their life and don't think they are enough. Yesterday, after my speech, I stood there and I had women just crying in my arms. They're just going, Forbes, we hear you. There's a level of the truth that finally has to be spoken. The truth about exercise and diet. You see me walking around with my spin gym. I do that because I don't have enough time for the gym. You want a fit body? Do it quickly. How about the truth about food? We've been lied to. I was addicted to Diet Coke for a long time because it's a dreadful product. We get lied to because I don't think people really care. Right now, I'm wondering if college is a good idea. I've got 2 16-year-olds where we lied to that you need to go spend a couple $100,000, give the best years of your life from 16 to 20, learning, I don't know, political science like I did.
Nonsense.
Yes. Or should you really take that time, invest that money, and blow it up and live an amazing life?
That's what you should do. Unless you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or something that requires a degree.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm scared. I've got 2 kids. My daughter at 16 is already building funnels. She's got clients. She's an amazing marketing mind. She's 16. She makes more money than her high school teachers do. But I'm also afraid we live in a society where that degree means something, or does it? I don't know. What's your take on that?
Degrees don't mean anything.
Well,
did you hear me talk yesterday?
I heard part of it.
See, I walked out and I said, listen, I introduced myself and said I have 4 MBAs and 2 PhDs. They all started clapping and I said, working for me. Because I dropped out of high school.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. Drop a bomb. That's a good one. That's a bomb. That is your bomb, and I love that.
But it's like, I don't need any degrees. I have enough working for me. So if you need a degree, just hire one. At the end of the day, you don't need a degree to do shit. Okay, what you need is some freaking heart and some freaking belief and some freaking, you need to take action. I know a lot of people that went to college when I got booted out of my house at 16, and so I dropped out of high school. Well, everybody was thinking I'm the idiot, right? Well, here's the deal. They went on to learn some shit, and I started to unlearn some shit. And what I unlearned is what made me excel. See, so many people out there need to stop trying to learn stuff and start trying to unlearn stuff. Unlearn things like save your money. Why would you save your money? Money is completely useless unless you use it. So therefore, why would you save it? What's it for? Look, I got $1 million in the bank and it's just sitting there.
Right.
I could use that $1 million to either help people, grow my business, whatever, but you use money. You don't save money. That was just a lie. That's just one of those things we've been taught, and our parents were taught, and our parents were taught, and they're saying it wrong. Only 24 hours in a day. You ever heard that? Mm-hmm. It's total bullshit. You have unlimited time. You know why? Because if you have money, you trade it for time, and then time, this is the difference between most people. See, most people will trade their time for money. Mm-hmm. But rich people, they'll trade their money for time. So instead of me going to shovel the shit out of the barn, I'll hire someone to shovel the shit out of the barn. But the smart way to do it is, let's say I get $50 an hour to accomplish some sort of solution, right? Mm-hmm. I'll just pay someone else $40 to do it and take $10 profit. So if I have 24 hours in a day, I would be limited. And people believe that. So they have to unlearn that you don't have 24 hours a day. You have as many hours as you need. If I have 100 employees, I have 2,400 hours in a day, assuming I get them all, which you don't. So let's say 40 hours a week is an average work week. So I've got all my time, of course, and then I've also got 100 people's 40 hours. How much is that? That's 40,000, or that's 4,000 hours a week.
Would you hit the bomb thing since you're across the table from me? Because I have sat across from many, many people, and I have never, ever heard that articulated the way you just did.
But it's true, right?
Oh, it's wildly true. You know, for me, actually, it had to do with cleaning my house. And I concluded this when I was back in college. I said, because back then I was making 10, 12 bucks an hour, whatever it was. And I said, I'm really bad at cleaning my bathroom and doing laundry, and I suck at it.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, I can pay somebody to do that. I'd rather do something else. Literally, back then I was like teaching dance class. I was making $15 an hour. I said, well, let me do that for all the hours and pay somebody the 10 to clean my bathroom and to do my laundry.
You'll net 5.
I have to tell you, that changed my life. And forever, I've always had somebody doing all of that.
Yeah.
So at a very basic level, because you'll talk to
But
a lot
it's not just that.
No,
it's
no.
anything.
That's the basic part. Yeah, no, the way you just said about having 2,400 hours a week is like, damn. That's interesting.
Yeah, well, people need to unlearn some things, is my point. So you need to unlearn nice guys finish last. That's total bullshit. You need to unlearn save your money. You need to unlearn patience is a virtue. Patience isn't a virtue. Trust me when I tell you.
I'm on that one.
Well, when I was 2 years old, drank turpentine from underneath the sink. Literally, parents found me dead, ran to the hospital. Basically, they're sitting there looking at a dead baby in a guy's arms. He's freaking out, of course. So they said, sit right here and have patience. We'll get a doctor. And my dad obviously flipped out, kicked in the emergency room doors. Doctor rushes over. What happened? Obviously, they worked on me or I wouldn't be alive today. But if he would have had patience, I wouldn't be here. 20 years later, my kid gets dropped on his head. My wife had this car seat where the handle broke, plopped down on the pavement. Now, he's like 4 months old. Hits him in the head, obviously, lands right on his head. No cut, no screaming, no crying. It's crazy. Just boom, dropped on his head, pick him up, just sitting there like, what the hell did you drop me for? Rushed him to the hospital. They said the same thing. You see all these kids crying? Okay, they're gonna need to go first. Just sit there and be patient. My wife, my ex, who's a little bit strong-willed, let's say, kicked in the door, did the same thing. Within an hour, my kid was getting prepped for brain surgery because apparently the brain was swelling inside the head.
Right.
If she would have sat down there for even 5 minutes and had patience, he would have died. So again, patience, which literally means you have the ability to experience trouble, challenge, and delay without getting upset, is patience. So like, why would you want that? I don't think you should have it. I think you should do the opposite. If you want something bad, don't have patience. Increase your activity. Do more, right? Do more than you were doing. So the opposite of patience is what I believe. Like, go faster, stronger, harder, and then you'll get it quicker. And if they say, well, things take time. Yeah, well, that's understandable. Things take time. But understanding things take time is not patience. Patience is the ability to experience trouble, challenge, and delay without getting upset. Well, why would you want to have that ability?
See, this is the thing we talk about, bag of bones. What's in your head is different from other people. When you have the successful self-talk, you create miracles. And that is... It's undeniable listening to the way you're speaking right now.
And most of those kids that went on to college thought I was the loser,
right?
Because I'm out and they're going to college, stupid.
There you go.
Number one, I was banging their girlfriends. No, just joking.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, I've never had a job in my life. I mean, I don't work for anybody. I never have, which is completely out of the norm. You have to go to college and get a job. Oh my gosh, I just embarrassed my daughter the other day. We're sitting with her guidance counselor, and she's sitting there going, well, she needs to understand how to fill out a resume. She was very disruptive in her digital marketing class or whatever they're teaching. I said, you're teaching my daughter to make a resume and to get certified in PowerPoint. Do you know this girl just did a PowerPoint for Coca-Cola? Do you know that she's got clients who pay her $5,000 a month on retainer? And the woman looked at me like I had two heads. And she's like, Mom, please don't tell everybody what I do.
Why, is she good PowerPoint creator?
Actually, you know what she is? She's a brilliant funnel builder. Russell Brunson at this 10X gave my daughter a shout out in front of 30,000 people because she builds our funnels, okay?
Yeah. She real good at it?
Yeah, she's brilliant at it. You know why? Because one is the artistic ability, but number two, she's been marketing forever. And she says, Mom, I grew up sitting and watching you at HSN. Literally, as a kid, she would sit in the back when we're on television. And when you're on live television, this is where I excel. Creating pitches is challenging. You have to pitch $2,000 to $5,000 a minute of product every minute you're on air. And I get off air, and this little kid would come up to me and go, Mommy, your models weren't smiling, or you really needed to do this. And I'm like, you don't really pay attention. She's got a book coming out called Every Company Needs a Kid. She saved my company $48,000 because she walked into a boardroom once, and we're all trying to figure out how to cut the value of something, how to save money to do this, whatever the project was. And she looks at all of us and like, well, why don't you just take out the bag? The bag was 55 cents. We had 75,000 orders. You do the math. She was the only one in the room who saw that. So yeah, she's somebody you want on your team. And when Russell shouted her out at this last 10X, it was like, oh my God, really? That's so cool.
Made you proud.
Yes, it did.
So now you're running around just changing lives and working with people. You enjoy that, don't you?
More than anything. It's, I'm very practical. I've made a lot of money doing what I do. This is really woo-woo. This is when you look at somebody and you start telling them about themselves. And I ask them their first memory in life, and I'll just go off on them and I'll tell them why they're not successful, how they live their life, or I'll put a spin gym in their hands, and it instantly informs me if they're kind of shy, or somebody will say, oh, I'm so weak in my arms, and I'll just go off of them. Or somebody will kind of grab it and have to fight, and I have this ability to look at you, and I can do this right now, and see something that other people don't see.
What do you see?
Well, I see a man. What do I see a man? I see a kid who is determined to prove people wrong. #watch me is your motto. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I get that. That is a new thing for me. I didn't really have the balls to step up and say that, but I went to the FU School of Business, where they say, Forbes, you can't do that. That is one way that you run your life. And I'll tell you what, that leads for disruption, wild success, but a little bit of an you don't really know what they're going to do next. And I think that runs you.
Yeah. Do you think that's natural in people, or can somebody learn that quality?
You have to unlearn what you said about permission.
See, unlearn.
Yep.
Everyone wants to learn. Maybe you should unlearn. Think about that, kids.
Because the rules are you do X, Y, and Z. When the rules go left, I go right. I always have. That's by nature. Mm-hmm. But I think you can stoke the fire of somebody, because in so many people, they want to. Yeah. Those are the people who come to me. The people who are hesitant said, wow, I just wish I had done that, but I didn't. I'm going to tell you, you're going to die. You are absolutely one day going to die. I just lost 3 friends last week. Not a joke. I am now on
Was Luke one of them?
No, that's sad. I did not know Luke Perry personally, but it brings to light that you don't get out of this life alive.
For sure. And see, that's another thing that people don't understand. Like every morning I wake up, and people think I'm just saying this. Number one, if they follow me long enough, they know I don't give up. So I wake up every morning, and the first thing that I think of, and I train myself to do this, but the first thing I think of is, man, I get another day. Like, this is unbelievable news.
Like, it's cool.
And not only that, imagine waking up to that news. It's almost like, is it better than the lottery? What would you rather do? Win the lottery or live? But listen, if you won the lottery, $100 million, would you not shit and be in a good mood all day? Mm-hmm. But yet people wake up, they won something better than the lottery. They get another fucking day. And guess what? Ain't nobody walking around all happy and shit. They walk up, they get pissed off, they're walking around, they're all depressed. So you guys want to really change your life? open your eyes and just realize that you're one lucky son of a bitch that just got another day, and it's great news to get in the morning.
2 bombs. Just 2 bombs. Or literally boom, boom, boom. I'll tell you why.
Now, normally I say I decide when the bombs are, but this is Forbes Riley, so she can direct. She can direct.
Okay, here's how, and you know, you said something really interesting. I woke up in a hospital bed. I've done that a couple of times. I can remember I wake up every morning grateful that I am not there. I remember how bad it was to be in pain or be scared or don't think you're going to have another day. And most people wake up, and you guys all have to hear this. You turn on the snooze alarm. You're like, oh my God, it's Monday. Oh my God. Don't do that. Do what Brad just said. I got gifted another day. How amazing is this? How brilliant is it to not be in pain, to live your life? And if you're one of the lucky ones, now this is interesting too. My girlfriend taught me the meaning of success. What does success mean for you?
For me?
Yeah.
Well, first, I believe there is no key to it because everyone has their own version, which makes it a combination of things. So there's no key to success. It's a combination.
Okay. Oh, I like that.
But my personal belief, what success is, when I have the ability to give abundantly without fear of not having enough. In other words, I've got so much I can give abundantly.
Okay. Are you successful?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so that's an interesting.
That's because the word abundant to me, I have a big idea of abundance. So I think I'm successful now, yes, technically, but I won't feel that way until I hit $1 billion.
All right, so here's my question to you, and don't do that to yourself. You won't feel successful until you hit $1 billion. Why would you not want to live?
It's just a goal.
No, I got a goal, but you use the word successful because feeling successful is kind of a
No, I
good
feel
feeling.
successful.
Yeah, I know you do. But you said you didn't, just so you know.
Yeah, but technically,
Yeah,
I feel successful, meaning I know I'm successful.
It's about defining words, okay? And I have a big thing about redefining words. Okay?
Well, that's why they call me literally.
Literally. Not Leah. I got that. So here's the deal about success. This is what kept me from my life. And I think everyone listening has got a level of this. I moved to LA. I've got a Toyota Corolla, whatever it is. And I paid cash for it. I was so excited because in my world, you didn't have any money. It was kind of cool. And I drove up to this big Beverly Hills party. And the valet opens the door and he looks down his nose at me. And I can see because he's got the Bugatti and the Rolls and the Bentley. He's just parked, right? And he made me feel less than successful. So then I walk into this party and everybody in this room, and you got to picture this, guys, is prettier, richer, more successful, and more famous than I am. And I don't drink, so I don't have anything to calm me down. And I look around the room and I can't stay there because I don't feel like I'm worthy of being there. And I was so physically uncomfortable. And I left. Guys, you know what I walked out on? I walked out on my future husband, my acting career, a new best friend, and everything I wanted because I didn't feel like I deserved to be there. I didn't feel successful. So many years later, my girlfriend says to me, she says, Forbes Riley, you're the most successful person I know. And I'm like, really? Is it because I'm on TV shows and I'm like doing this and hanging out with celebrities? She's like, no. She says, because you can walk across the room in a tight skirt and a pair of high heels and I never will. See, Christine's got cerebral palsy. She wakes up every day and has got to get help to get in her chair. And I found this girl when she was 13 in a park. We spin gymmed. She's valedictorian at 19, and she's finally found love, but she'll never get out of her chair or wear high heels and walk across the floor. And Brad, I got to tell you, whenever I'm uncomfortable, and I get uncomfortable a lot because I'm still this little introvert, even though people look at me and go, wow, you got all that. And I go, shh, take a breath. You are successful. You're successful because there's no breathing tube. You're wearing high heels. You can do this because she can't. And that's my definition of success. Not how much money I've got, not being a billionaire. I'm successful because I'm here. You know, what does it take to sit opposite Brad Lee in his killer studio in Vegas wearing a hot outfit? I'm successful. I get that, but that's nothing compared to how it feels inside.
Indeed. And not only that, but that's my point, that everyone has their own combination, because what I think is successful may not be what others do. So who is defining success for you is the question.
Well, but guys, don't define it by looking at somebody else. Don't define it by the car they drive or the outfit they wear or yes, that's the whole deal. You have to define it for yourself and make it attainable. Don't make the word success something you're going to get tomorrow. Wake up today and go, God, I'm successful today. It feels different. You approach things differently.
Sure. It's perspective.
Yes.
I register websites all the time because, in my opinion, I think that's real estate.
I've got 288. You probably have 1,288.
No,
right?
I only have like 150.
All right.
But I bought the other day. Well, number one, I bought salesandfitness.com because I think with sales and fitness, that's the answer to everything. But that's beside the point. Now, I've also got the other day. It's called dreamperspectives.com because people don't have the right perspective on life. That lady did, okay? Because, again, you start to appreciate things when you have a different perspective. You heard the saying, I used to be mad that I had no shoes until I met a man with no feet. Then it's like makes the shoes look pretty stupid, doesn't it?
Right.
But the guy with no feet was mad until he met a dude with no legs. And then you can just keep doing that to where eventually it's like, dude, it's all perspective. So I want to teach people how to have dream perspectives, which basically just means think bigger and be more appreciative. But dreamperspectives.com, pretty good one.
I like it. My whole motto has been dream it, believe it, and achieve it. Here's what people don't do. They don't dream big enough. And they don't know what they want.
They don't think big enough. Is that what you mean by dream?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
well,
for sure.
we're not encouraged to. We're told, you can't do that, all the isms that you need to unlearn. So one of my new things is Grubhub. So Grubhub is God. Really, Forbes? Yeah. Do you know what you want? Have you clearly, I'm sitting in Brad's studio. If you guys ever get a chance to see this, you had a very clear vision of what this should look like. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it manifested itself, and it looks just like this. I have a television studio, too, and I dreamed it. In fact, it ended up on a TV show as a sketch because we had just done the architectural plans, but we weren't sure we could afford to build it. And I took that and I said, I'm building this, and put that sketch on a television program. And sure enough, I'm living that now. Well, one of the problems, and I ask people this all the time, what do you want?
People can't even answer that.
Oh, they can't at all. And if you're listening to me, I do this once a week. I'll do what do you want? And I'll check in with myself. What do you want? People say to me, I want financial freedom. I said, oh, you know what? I got the answer to that. Go get a cardboard box and live under the bridge. You're completely financially free. No cell phone, no light bill, no...
Or go to prison.
Or go to prison. There you go.
You go to prison, folks, it's not always a bad thing. It's perspective.
Okay, did you know that from personal experience?
Yeah.
All right, well...
Like one time I had to go to prison, and guess what happened?
What?
I just thought, shit, no more power bills, no more cell bills, no more rent, no more gas payments, free food, 3 hots and a cot.
Okay, we're taking a bomb back for that one. Going to prison for that.
All right, don't go to prison, kids.
Okay,
just joking. Just joking.
So here's the deal.
But it is a perspective.
Yes,
Because if you want to be financially free, go to prison.
Well, but what I'm talking about, though, is people articulate things they don't really want. And they don't really understand how to do this.
And they don't understand that words manifest themselves.
Okay,
So that's what they're doing.
Yes, call Grubhub. Hey, Grubhub, I'm really hungry. Can you send me some Chinese? Oh, no, wait, I had Chinese last night. Maybe some French food. I just want a sandwich. I don't know what I want. Ma'am, call me back when you know what you want. Click, and they hang up on you. Or, hey, Grubhub, I really want a Caesar salad with extra chicken and croutons on the side. Brad, you know what shows up 15 minutes later? Caesar salad, extra chicken, and croutons on the side at your door. How did they know? Because you told them what you wanted.
Yeah.
Right?
They didn't guess.
No. But so I ask people what they want, even in a spouse, in a partner. What do you want? So I was kind of thinking about what I want in my love life, right? And when you make that, I talk to women all the time, very smart women. And you know what they'll say? Oh, I just want somebody who's funny. No, you don't. Make the list
That's
longer.
me. I'm funny.
Yeah, no, that is not. You didn't show up for just funny. Trust me, you want dark hair, you want sexy, you want a certain kind of build. You get to ask. This is the thing. Give you permission to ask for what you want. And then as I was making my own list, my girlfriend, she had a very handsome husband. I said, what did you do for that? And she said, I asked for someone who looks like they walked off the cover of a romance novel. Brad, have you seen The Love of My Life now?
Sure.
I said, can I borrow that and stick that at the top of my list? Because at a certain age, at 50, guys don't look so good anymore, right? They just don't. I said, I want a guy who looks like he walked up. I want that, but I also want nice, loving, sweet.
She says guys don't look good at 50.
Most don't. Help me out here.
No, it's true. I just never hear girls say that. That's awesome. Because, guys will say, man, once girls hit, 50, you got to start. And I'm like, you never hear girls say that about dudes. That's just refreshing.
Come on, balding, big belly, kind of, no, you don't. And I said, I'm not going to settle for that. I don't settle for that in my own life.
Hey, there's a bomb. That's exactly what I try to tell people. Like, freaking get what you want and quit settling.
Do you tell people how old you are?
I'm 50.
Really? I got 10 years on you.
Do you really?
I do.
Well, you look good.
I'm turning 59, and I got to tell you, I was rocking the stage in front of 20-year-olds.
How old's Josh?
He's 17 years younger.
So what is he?
Turning 42.
Oh, okay. He looks young too.
He looks like he's 28. That's the only problem walking around with him. Yes.
Yeah, and he's like Fabio without the hair or the nose.
You know,
He's like a good-looking Fabio.
yeah, I don't know about Fabio, but I will tell you, he's the best-looking man I've ever seen.
Well, he's all buff and shit. Probably
Yeah.
6'3".
Yeah, he's
Like if you could pick what you wanted to look like, it'd probably be Josh.
But isn't that kind of funny that I would say that I had the courage to ask for that?
Haven't seen his schlammerger hamburger yet.
Oh, God.
We don't know. He might be, old pinky ring down there. Who
Trust
knows?
me, he wears a size 14 shoe.
Oh, okay. But anyway, at the end of the day, he's a good-looking dude, all buff, fit, wins pro bodybuilding competitions. You picked him. You chose him.
No, he chose me. Now, okay, you want to get really real?
But I mean on your list.
In my list, absolutely. But then here's the crazy thing. And I wanted it so clearly. I had a vision of what my partner could look like. So what I did was I started to go and I looked at Randy Gerber and Cindy Crawford. They were a hot-looking couple. I looked at Laird Hamilton and Gabrielle Reese. If you don't know who these people are,
Sure,
they're
I
rock
do.
stars. I looked at the two of them together. They look really... I looked at Tom Brady and his wife, and I'm like...
Giselle.
I knew you knew that. That's why I let you have that one. And I said, I want a partnership for the rest of my life where I walk into a room and we make a statement. And that was a criteria that I set in my head. So then you go, well, where do you go for that? I didn't go to a bar. I didn't go to Tinder. You know what I did? I just held it so close in my heart and in my morning meditations and the way I live my life that I'm doing a video in a hotel room in Las Vegas for my spin gym, which you all know if you know me how much I love this product, right? I carry it everywhere. I'm always working on it. I'm always making other people get sweaty. Knock, knock, knock. My videographer says to me, do you want a 2-time Mr. Arnold to come over and work out with us? I'm like, dude, it's like 6 o'clock at night. Where's Mr. Arnold just going to show up, right? There you go. Knock at the door. And I open the door and there's Josh. And he's, good looking, but I see good looking men all the time. And I see half naked men because I'm a fitness person. That's what we do, right? And he works out with a spin gym and he likes it when I leave. He then makes a post, said, wow, I really loved her energy. I would have never pursued somebody like that. And a little Instagram back and forth for a couple of months. And then one day he says, how about I come out and, see you and I'm going to drive my motorcycle from Vegas to California. I'm like, okay. Well, he gets there and this Vision in leather shows up and Captain Marvel or Captain America wishes he looked like Josh. And I'm going, oh my God, really? And I said, what are you really doing here? And he said, I don't really believe in God, but something told me you needed me. That was 2.5 years ago. I'm going to tell you, I did need him. I needed somebody that was that loyal, that sweet, that loving. This man, you look at him and you don't have any idea that could be him. And that is what I needed. And so I'm pretty happy about that.
And you ordered him from Grubhub.
I ordered him from Grubhub. So the big question is, what do you want? So let me ask you a question right now. What do you want?
I'm still working on my final list.
No, don't. Okay, doesn't have to be a final list. Don't do that. Don't put the stress on it. Just what's next?
I think what's next for me personally is I want to hit the billion mark.
Okay.
Like I used to think 1 million was a lot. And then I started doing 1 million. Then I said, okay, how about freaking 12 million? Then I hit 12 million and I'm like, shit, how about 52 million? One a week.
Okay.
And, now I'm thinking, shit, how about one a day?
Okay.
But my goal is 1 billion. So that's one thing. But as far as specific goes.
No, hang on to that for a second. Because I get people all the time saying, I want to be a billionaire, right? Okay. One of the cool things about being a billionaire is that you have to serve so many people to make that reality happen. Am I correct?
Yep.
Because how do you make your money?
But technically, passwords. I have a web-based interactive training system, and I sell passwords.
Okay. That's good. I
So,
like that.
so all I got to do is have 1 billion passwords in the world.
And there's that many people easily. In fact, there's 7 billion. Why are you shooting for so small?
You can't help everybody.
But I will tell you, if you guys are listening as entrepreneurs, what Brad just said is so powerful. Very specific goal that is achievable.
Totally.
And works backwards. So many people say to me, I want to be a billionaire, and I will grab them and I'll say, no, you do not.
5 years, I'll be a billionaire.
Okay.
For sure.
Will that make you happier, by the way? You go, yeah, I got that little
No,
sticker.
I'm as happy as I can get right now.
Bingo. You got to hear that. That's a bomb. I'm going to make him do his own bombs. Because, guys, it isn't about how much money you got or you make. That is, are you happy?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm excited. I wake up every day, number one, being me. That's always a bonus. Number two, I wake up every day. Like, that's freaking awesome if you think about it.
Yes, yes, and yes.
See, people don't put it in the right perspective. Now, listen to this perspective. If every day you hit the $100 million jackpot, you would be pumped up every day, right?
Yeah.
And we already decided that living is more important than hitting the lottery, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, so every day you wake up, you get the news that you get another day, and nobody gives a fuck. They're not even paying attention. They're taking it for granted. See, I don't do that. I wake up instantly and think, yes. So I pop out of, people say, how do you get out of bed at 4:30 every morning? It's like, dude, my eyes open. Shit, I get another day. I'm up. I'm excited. Guess what? It might not last. There's no promise I'm going to get another hour. So literally, if you can just get the right mindset, dude, you go through the entire day pumped up and happy. Now, everything else is what's in question. I always say, look, there's no such thing as a bad day if you wake up. If you wake up, you had a good day. The question is how much better is it going to get? But it's already good.
What time are you going to bed?
About 11 or 12.
Okay, I'm just kind of curious. Cause
I get like 5-6 hours sleep, and I don't use an alarm clock. I believe in listening to your body. Mm-hmm. Now, see, when I wake up, my body obviously just said you got enough sleep, so I wake up.
This is called being in tune to yourself. I think so many of us are just numbed out to all of this, and we don't understand. Just that perspective of just waking up. I love it.
Do you believe money can buy happiness?
No.
I do.
Really?
You ready?
Go ahead.
Change your perspective. Do you
right.
believe that?
I believe money can buy. I mean, I'll tell you, money buys all kind of fun things.
Okay, I'll ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Let's say you had a child with some sort of problem where she was going to be fatal, and a certain procedure would fix it, but it's very expensive, and you have the money,
right?
And you save her life. Would that make you happy?
Absolutely.
You just bought happiness.
Okay.
You just bought it. Anyone that thinks money doesn't buy happiness doesn't know where to shop. Like people always try to get you to believe that money doesn't buy happiness. And here's one interesting thing that I've noticed. Nobody with money hates on it. I've only heard people talk shit about money when they don't fucking have any.
I gotta go over there and hit my bombs because I'm like learning stuff here, going, dude, that is awesome. Did he ever get bombs on his own show? I'm like looking at your crew, going, really?
But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to think about that.
Right.
Like, dude, I started thinking, like, how come everyone I know with money never talks shit about it, but it's always the ones that don't have it saying, it doesn't buy happiness.
Right. However,
fuck, it doesn't. It can buy better health care, better food, better education, better homes, better cars, better seats at the game.
It's true.
Better hairdos. Look at the Kardashians. Like Kylie. I love Kylie, by the way. I think she's the hottest one of them all. But undo what the money did.
That's true.
Little Kylie, sorry, Kylie, but you were the ugliest one.
Ooh.
She was. Not on the outside.
No, I get it.
She might have been nice on the inside.
One little trivia?
But dude, Kylie, bam, instant beauty. Do you think those procedures caused her to feel better and be happy? Mm-hmm. Okay, fucking money bought that. I don't care what anyone says. Money does buy happiness. It doesn't mean that if you have it, you're automatically happy, however. But if you know where to shop.
Well, actually, it's pretty funny about money, too, because they say money doesn't grow on trees, but money is actually made out of paper, and it does grow on trees.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty funny. So if you go to YouTube right now and you type in Forbes Riley and Kim Kardashian, you will see that I gave Kim her very first television infomercial. She'd never been on TV before I met her.
Oh, yeah. Did she look like Kim? Or
not at all. And you can see that when you watch it. Yeah, I had done an infomercial with Bruce Jenner for vitamins. And
Bruce doesn't look the same anymore either.
Funny what money can do for you.
And by the way, is Bruce happy?
I don't know. I don't talk to him.
He's claiming to be happy now.
Yeah.
Okay, so money bought that.
Oh, that's a good point.
Money buys happiness, kids. Unlearn that shit if you don't believe it.
And it is not the root of all evil.
It is not the root of all evil.
No. So we got all that nailed. But I will tell you, are you in love?
Yes.
Okay, that is part of the root of all happiness too. Because when I roll over in the morning and I go, oh, I'm smiling in the morning, that makes me happy. There's something... I have a very different perspective on life that I've ever had before. And that is just being in love. Being in love with the kids, being in love with the dog, being in love with and then, of course, just life.
What about fly under the radar? Have you ever been told that?
Yeah.
You need to fly under the radar.
That would be terrible for me. God, yeah.
It's terrible for anybody, but we're taught that as kids.
Well, because go ahead, you got a whole list of these. Go ahead, give me a couple more.
Well, I just made a few. It's like people don't change. Yes, they do. I've changed. At 16 to 30, I was a dipshit, jack-off dumbass.
People totally change. I'm a completely different
but
person.
they'll tell you people don't change.
Who's they, by the way?
A leopard can't change their spots. Bullshit. Yes, they can. I got money can't buy happiness. If you want something done, you have to do it yourself.
Oh, God, that's the worst, isn't it?
And
Delegation is cool.
Yeah, and it's not true. Patience is a virtue. Nice guys finish last, which is bullshit. Whoever smelt it, dealt it. That's a lie.
Okay, we're getting into this. Is a very... All right.
I just made a few for yesterday's talk because I want people to... Everybody's going to these conferences thinking that there's some secret that they need to learn, and there are secrets out there.
Right.
How about it just takes hard work? There are no secrets. That's total bullshit, too.
Right. So here's one that I have. People think diet is starvation and deprivation. I changed the word diet to be decisions I eat today. I radically shifted hundreds of thousands of people because it's not what you think it is.
Well, you know, the word diet is whatever you eat, so you can be on a diet of donuts.
Yes, you can. Absolutely.
Like someone says this is diet soda. All soda's diet soda. If you drink it, it's in your diet.
It is in your diet. But I've actually helped change people's lives because one of the things that I care about, and you do too, obviously, is your body. Yes?
Average.
Yeah, but what you put in your body, do you care about it?
Oh no, what I eat is more clean. Yeah,
Well,
but I don't go do the shit like your dude.
Oh no! I'm not talking about being super fit. I'm just being fit for that you can live your life.
I'm healthy.
That you can look down and see your toes. Okay, that's really important.
I can see my toes.
Yeah, is that you're strong enough to pick up your kids, run up stairs, and understand. Because I do go to a lot of these conferences, and I'll tell you what, a different perspective, and this is an interesting conversation too. Being a girl in this world is different than being a boy.
For sure.
And that's a whole bunch of things of phrases that I don't like about, run like a girl. Or we have a friend who says, don't be a little bitch. Don't like that one either.
Why?
Because don't be a little dick. Nobody likes a little dick.
Hey, that's good.
There you go.
But it means the same thing if you're thinking about it. Like, don't be a little bitch just means don't be a little whiny bitch. Now, when you hear bitch, you're thinking that's female, dude. There's dude bitches out there.
Right. However, it's a girl thing. I got to tell you. And as a girl on my side of the table here,
no, the C word's the girl thing.
Yeah, don't be pussy. Same thing. Why is it all bad?
But men can be pussies, yes.
But it means they're bad. But it's still yeah. So here's the deal about.
Well, that's because all of the years of chauvinistic stuff that were happening.
Yes, let's unlearn that, shall we?
Yeah, let's unlearn it. I think women have the biggest advantage in life.
Which
if you ask me. What do you mean? I prefer females over males. Like if I could, this whole company would be filled with females. Like females are just cool.
No, not necessarily.
You know how you know there's a God?
Yeah.
Females.
He's being terribly romantic right now. He's going to make me blush.
No, it's just the truth. It's just the truth. Like if you want to know if there's a God, look at the female. Somebody made that, and someone decided to make one, and like I'm very grateful personally, but females have an advantage. I just think they have an advantage. Now, when it comes to strength, no, they don't have the advantage. Guys have the advantage.
Okay. While all that's good, I'm going to shift a couple of your perspectives.
And I'm talking about physical strength. Mental strength, dudes couldn't have babies.
Right. And all that, I've kind of heard all that before, but I'll tell you what, I am a woman living in a man's world, and that is a reality. And that is, talk about wanting to unlearn something, is that you've got guys who, and I don't care if you're in a boardroom, I kind of now believe that men don't like women like you do. Trust me, they don't.
I do.
Well, then did you have a good mom?
Coincidentally, no.
Really?
Really.
So what decision did you make about
I had a good stepmom.
Okay, but there was a woman in your life that you liked growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to say that most men don't, just on how they treat women, I'm a woman, they don't have a relationship like you do with women.
Huh.
They wouldn't say those same things.
Well, that's sad for them.
There you go. All right, so nothing about being a man. Now, you see, you're a little bit of a metrosexual. Something tells me that you take time with your hair and your nails and you look a certain way. Most guys, especially if they're bald, think about how many hours a year they have that women don't have. So girls, let me get straight with you. If you color your hair, that's 3 hours every 4 weeks. You do your nails, you do your makeup every morning, that's an hour. You do that 300 days a year, you got like 400 hours less than an average man to accomplish what you need to.
Yeah. So
being a woman is a challenging thing, and I'm going to applaud my girls who become successful, who don't turn into men. This is I looked at Forbes 100 the other day. Okay, the most successful women in the country. A couple of girls, gorgeous. J-Lo, Beyonce, who else? Sofia Vergara, up there, top earners, are gorgeous. They're all entertainers. I looked at all the other women who are CEOs. They're wearing suits with short boy haircuts.
Yeah.
I'm like,
They're trying to fit in.
They are. They're trying, because kind of living in a man's world.
Not my girl, Sarah Blakely.
No, well, but you know what I just learned about Sarah, too, though? Sarah's got a very successful husband. That helps.
Jesse?
Yeah.
Jesse's cool.
Yep. I mean, my girl, Suzanne Summers, had an amazing, supportive husband. Sometimes it's hard. It helps as a girl.
Is Suzanne Summers still kicking?
Oh, yeah. She's in her late 70s, and she is writing books and being amazing. And Alan Hamill is her husband, friends with the whole family. Good teamwork. You more hear successful women now. Obviously, people like Martha Stewart, not such a teamwork. I don't know.
She's getting into cannabis now.
I heard. So am I.
Anyone that isn't is probably going to miss a boat.
Oh, seriously? So I have an infomercial coming out about cannabis, CBD. Yes.
What is it?
It's called True Relief. It is coming out, and I have a new book coming out all about CBD.
Well, this is a good transition because I know you got to get back to that conference, and it's been an hour. So tell me about your book. Where can people go find it or pre-order it?
Well, actually, I'm not going to tell you about that one. I got a whole bunch of books, but I'm going to tell you the latest one that I love.
Okay.
The next book that I've got coming out is called What Have You Forbesed Lately? So to Forbes something means to manifest it, especially when no one else thinks it's possible. So, Brad, what have you Forbesed lately?
This company. Oh, lately? You being here on the podcast.
There you go. Guys, you've got to go out there and Forbes something and share it with me on social media. Find me at Forbes Riley 360. This is a platform that I am nuts about. I invested in this company. Because being a little bit of an introvert, when I meet people, I don't really know what to do with them, or I come home with lots of business cards. This little platform on your phone, and you can get your own 360, Forbes Riley 360, will get you to your Instagram, your Facebook, your YouTube. It gives you the playlist. It actually lets you on your phone connect with another human being in seconds and get all those social medias and all those things that you want someone to know about you done like that.
Instantly.
It's
like a Forbes Riley hub.
There you go. So the book is called What Have You Forbes Lately? All my books are on Amazon. But the way to find me is if you go to everything's Forbes in my world. Oy. If you go to Forbes Riley 360, you can connect with me. You can send me a text. You can find me on Facebook. You can do all those things, one-stop shopping. So we need now Brad Leah, 360.com.
Yeah, but it's not Leah.
I said, because you know what? I looked at it right there. It looks like Leah.
Look, it's only Leah if you drink Tia.
Brad Lee 360.
Brad Lee 360.
You know, from my perspective sitting here, I can see, and I have to take a picture of this for you guys to see, his bomb looks like a giant afro sitting on his head. No, seriously, have you ever seen that? I just watched Black Klansman by Spike Lee, and I'm laughing going, dude, you're the guy with the giant afro on your head.
Good. I like that. I'll take it.
Man, you are just so crazy, wonderfully inspiring. How do you end your podcast? What do you tell people?
I tell people to go out, follow you, #Bomb Squad, and then rate and share the podcast. Mm-hmm. And that I love them because I love the Bomb Squad.
And I'm going to give you permission, which is my next book, to go out and have an amazing, wonderful life. Stop asking everyone else for permission. Go and be a disruptor and unlearn some good stuff. I got my bomb.
That's
my bomb.
Folks, listen, go out, rate, share the podcast. We've got 7 billion downloads, but there's 16 people somewhere in Somalia that have never heard of me. So please share this out. Make sure everyone gets the chance to get some of the B-Meister and his terrific guests like Forbes Riley. Till next time.
I love you, Brad. Wow. Oh, where's my... Where's Joshua?